today for another December daily process video. So for today I've got day 22 for you. It is going to be a big day, so well actually it was a big day, and I'm going to have, I guess, multi-page spread for today. So let's start. So I'm just kind of chopping up the photos. So I'm going to have a bunch of photos. The first one I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these 3x4 photos into the pocket, and I am only going to use the left side of that page protector. I've also saved this wrapping kind of packaging piece which came with the block of chocolate we bought when we visited a chocolate farm in Bali when we were there, and so I've saved that, and then I sprayed it using acid-free spray. I think it's called Make It Acid Free, and it's actually from Krylon, if just in case you're interested. The reason I'm spraying it largely because I kind of want to reduce the rate, at which it fades, the paper fades. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, but do what we can, right? So I'm just spraying that across, and then I am putting aside for a little bit. The next thing I am going to do here is so this is essentially going to be the first part of the spread. So, and I'm going to be adding some die cut pieces, and these die cuts are from the Hip Kit Club's November kit from last year, the scrapbook kit. And now I'm just kind of adding these kind of snowflakes and using my rolling adhesive, and I'm kind of just scattering on the left side. The reason I decided to add it there, it was largely because the photo itself was imbalanced. So I took a photo of the footpath and the factory. The chocolate factory is actually called Pod, and so but the actuals, the print spot is actually too far on the right. So I decided to just kind of add those snowflakes, and I think they make it look less imbalanced. There you go. And now I am adhering the two 4x6 photos together, which I'm going to be using for today as well. And I am kind of over the place at the moment. I'm just kind of moving around what I want to do first, etc. The next thing I am going to do here is I'm going to punch out some holes onto this packaging piece, and I'm just using a page protector to work out where the holes should be. The next thing I am going to do is I'm going to use this transparency piece, which I got from the Allywood's main kit, Allywood's December Daily main kit. I have also printed out my journaling onto a white cardstock, and my plan is it's a really, really long, I wrote a long journaling and so I just printed out on an A4 piece of white cardstock. It's a relatively thick one. I think it was 250 grams or something relatively thick, and so I am just trimming it up. My plan is to create essentially 4 tags, one on top of the other 3, one on top of another, and I'm just now trimming that to size, and so I want them all to be of the same size. And I'm going to use that tag to trim off the side, and I'm just going to create essentially a tag look. The reason I didn't actually just print it directly on a tag is largely because it was just going to be easier if I just create a tag, after some white cardstock rather than printing on the tag itself. Largely because, trying to measuring and where it is and, print it out again and those kind of things was just going to be easier. And now I'm just punching a hole. I am just measuring where the hole should be. And then I'm using my Fiskus hole punch, and it's a 1/4 inch one. I like that one largely because the hole is big. I am planning to buy a power punch, which is a We Are Memory Keepers one. The Fiskus one works okay, but it's actually often gets stuck, so it's not very good for thick material or anything like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do here is I want to create a tag look, so I'm going to use a kind of a pattern paper to create essentially a ring. And so I've used a 1/2 inch circle punch, and then punch a hole in the middle of that. The pattern paper I've used is actually from Felicity Jane December kit, so you can use any color. To be honest, I decided to use that one largely because I like how the grey of that pattern paper works kind of well consistent with the packaging of the chocolate there. And now I'm using my bone folder, which I've not used for a long time, to kind of make sure that the tag opens easily. So I'm just kind of scoring the top there on all of the pages, and then I'm just kind of gluing the top portion together. And now I am just kind of making sure that it folds, the pages fold okay. And then I'm just thinking what I want to back that with on the other side. Obviously, if you stick that on one side, you want to kind of make sure that there's something to cover the glue part up on the other side. And so I'm thinking, what I'm going to do. But before that, I am going to cover up these number 22 chipboard piece, which is from the Allied Woods main kit, December Daily main kit. I'm also using this washi tape, which is from her main kit as well. So I'm covering that up, and it was not an easy process, I have to admit, to try and cover it up. And if you want something that has that looks perfect, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're okay with things looking slightly grungy or has pattern on it, because when you fold washi tape, sometimes it kind of has a little bit of a crease and those kind of things. So I'm just trying to cover that up, and then I'm just cutting the middle area, just making sure that there's a hole in there. And the method I did was essentially just kind of trim and make sure that there's enough washi tape along the side so you can wrap it around a little bit. And so I'm just kind of folding that over and just trying to make sure that it looks, reasonable. As I said before, if you want it to look perfect, it will not actually. It actually would be quite difficult to make sure that it's perfect. But I'm kind of liking the kind of crafty, kind of, as you go look, I guess. It's kind of cute that way. And so I'm also adding a bit of washi tape on the other side as well, the same set of washi tape, just so that when I stick that on the other side, you can see there's a pattern on it. And the way I adhere that number 22 is by using some glossy accent. I really like glossy accent when adhering onto a piece of transparency or adhering a transparency onto something. It works quite well if you just add the glue on your finger and then rub it on. I think it works quite well than using a zero machine or those kind of thing, because I think the glue it's much harder to see through. Now I am using this pattern paper, which is from the Allied Woods main kit, and I'm just kind of measuring it up so that I can put onto the other side of that piece of transparency. Once again, I'm using this pattern paper, which is from the Felicity Jane Scrapbook kit called Oh Dear, and also a 1/2 inch circle punch as well to create the ring around that hole. And then I'm just using just a bit of adhesive around there and just measuring it and making sure that it fits. And then I'm just adding my adhesive. I am putting the journaling underneath the number 22, keeping it really quite simple. The back of it, I'm using this piece of chipboard which says Merry and Bright, and that came with that came, I think I bought it separately from the Hollywood store. It was rather priced on the pricey side, to be honest with you. I think it was like $5-6 or something for a pack, which only had 4 or 5 pieces of chipboard. So, but anywho, I really like them. I've used most of them already, which is kind of, you know, the best way to, well, good use of money if you actually use them right. So I'm happy about that. And the next thing I am going to do here is I'm thinking about what to use essentially as a page turner for this piece of packaging. I decided to use this punch here, which is kind of like a slot punch. I don't know, I'm not sure what it's called. I actually got from Stampin' Up years ago. And I decided to punch 2 holes, and then using the ribbon that came in the Hollywood's main kit and fold it in half, and then using my tiny attacher to adhere that on. And I have to apologize that the video is really quickly larger because it's a really long process. The page kind of spans for, the spread spans for many pages, and I just want to make sure that it fits within 15 minutes. And so I am adding that piece of transparency. As I said before, to adhere it, I tend to use glossy accent, and so I put it on my finger and apply it on the back of the piece, and you cannot see the glue at all, which is great. Alternatively, you can obviously adhere it using tiny attacher. That would work quite well. I didn't want to use tiny attacher largely because I've got the photo on the other side, and I didn't want the whole, like the stapler to go on the other side. I've also added that piece of word phrase sticker, which is from the Hollywood store as well. From the December Daily main kit as well. Now I added this ivory index tab here, which I've stamped the story of, and the back says baking treats, and that is from the stamp set itself is actually from the last year's story December Daily storytelling class from Hollywood's. Now, the one thing I forgot to say is for today, number 22, day 22, the story was actually about us visiting a chocolate farm. So we were in Bali on that day, and we decided to go and visit a chocolate farm, and we get to see the tour of the farm and seeing bits and pieces we've never known about chocolate before and taste it. And that's why it was such a really, long spread, page spread. And so I've added just a few embellishment bits and pieces. Some are from the word memory. The one memory, as you can see there on the right, the top photo was actually from the Felicity Jane kit. And the star you saw me adding earlier was actually from the Hip Kit Club, from Hollywood's kit from last year. Now I'm adding this ivory index tab. I decided to add the green one, and the stamp set itself, it says so much food, and that is from Felicity Jane kit from November 2016. So here's some closeout, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me again, and I have to apologize. The video is really really fast, largely because I want to make sure that it finishes before by 15 minutes, within 15 minutes. And so here's some closeout. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, or if I missed something and you want to know where the product's from, let me know. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. And if you want YouTube to let you know when my next video comes out, please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!